Hi, Team Song. Mr. Hagan here again. Yesterday, you created a plan book for your literary nonfiction project, and today I want to teach you how to use this plan book to rehearse, which means practice telling the story a couple times so that when it's time to write, you'll be able to write long and strong. Okay, writers, I'm going to use my plan book that I made yesterday, and I'm going to rehearse the story. So I want you to listen to how I'm doing it. Before you even start, what's really important is you pay attention to this part. How much time's passing, and then talk yourself through it. So say to yourself, okay, I'm writing a story about an airplane. About a day passes, and in my story, my airplane is going to start at one airport and go to another one. So now I have the big picture thinking before I start actually telling the story. Page 1. In the morning, the pilots walk into the hangar, and there's a large airplane there, and they climb up into the cockpit and they start the plane. And the fact that I'm going to teach is that planes go in giant buildings called hangars. So I'm going to teach readers what a hangar is. And the illustration I'm going to have is maybe like a front view picture of an airplane inside a hangar. So I'm making sure that as I'm rehearsing it, I'm talking and thinking about everything in my plan book. Okay, page 2. Later that morning, the plane pulls up to the gate. There's one of those air bridges, one of those rectangular white things that people walk through, and it goes up to the plane. And there's people walking on the plane. And before they do that, or even while they're doing that, the plane's getting gas. And the thing that I'm going to teach people is that airplanes use special gas called jet fuel. And I'm also going to teach readers that when a plane rolls on the ground, it's called taxiing. And the scene is the gate, so the place at the airport where the plane pulls up to the building, and there's that air bridge that goes from the building to the airplane. So it's probably going to be like a front view of the airplane. Okay, next, page 3. The airplane's actually getting gas, so they're pumping gas onto the airplane through a hose, and there's a conveyor belt, a truck, with lots of bags that are being put into the bottom of the plane. So what I'm going to teach people is what a conveyor belt actually is, and I'm also going to teach my readers that airplanes have massive gas tanks, and the gas tanks are actually inside the wings. And the scene is going to be the same place that was on page 2. Page 4. After loading, it's time for takeoff. So in this scene, the plane's going to start going really fast. I'm probably going to be using some sound words. And the fact that I'm going to teach readers is what a runway is and how a plane uses it. And I'm also going to teach people about seat belts. So in this scene, I think I'm going to be more zoomed out, side view. And my plane's going to actually be roaring down the runway, or maybe even taking off in the picture. All right, page 5. In the afternoon, so maybe 4 hours has passed. It's lunchtime on the plane. So in this scene, I'm going to be talking about the inside of the airplane, but the plane's in the sky. So I'm skipping to my scene. Plane's in the sky, but I'm describing what's happening inside the airplane. So this is where people are probably pushing carts with the food and helping passengers pick what they want. And the fact that I'm going to teach is I know that airplanes actually use the heat from the engines to heat up the food. Page 6. In the evening, so now probably another 5 or 6 hours has passed because my plane's going probably across a giant ocean. So on my last page, there's actually 2 things happening. So first, the plane's going to land. I'm going to talk about that. And then people do what's called disembark. So I'm going to actually add that, disembark. And I'm not even sure if I spelled that right, but that's okay. That means they get off the plane. And I'm going to teach my readers on this page about what landing gear is, the wheels that planes roll on, and how it goes up and down inside the plane, and then the pilot presses a button and it comes out. I'm also going to talk about all the lights on a plane and what they're for. And I think I'm going to do a split illustration where the plane's landing on the runway with the moon and stars in the background, and then I'm probably going to do like a bird's eye view of the plane pulling up to the gate with the passengers walking through the air bridge. And I think that's how I'm going to end my story. So writers, it's really important to remember that you go through your plan book and you rehearse what the story is going to sound like, and also where is the story happening and what are you going to teach your readers. Now you can do this a couple different ways. You could do you could do a video where you actually hold your plan book. Okay, so that could be in your little hand. You could do a screencast like I did. And in that screencast, you probably need to take a photo of the cover. And then you're going to take a photo, just like I did, of the pages side by side. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some of you have 5. Some of you might have 6 or 7. And just like I did, you might use a pen tool to actually put little check marks on all the parts that you're explaining in your plan book. Now, if you know how to use the multi-page feature in Seesaw Activities, go for it. If you don't, go for the video. Just hold your plan book, prop up your device, and just record yourself using your finger to point to the different parts of the plan book and tell the story. Now, I promise you it's not going to be easy. So maybe you're going to want to practice this on your own a couple times and then do your recording. But writers would definitely rehearse their story more than 3 times before they even start writing, so that when it's time to write, you know exactly what you're going to say. All right, have fun, writers. I can't wait to see yours.